I refused to drive my roommate's kid to school. My roommate, Jenna, moved in with me about 3 months ago after her divorce finalized. She's 35. I'm 37. She has one kid, Eli, who's 9. The situation was rough. She lost the house, her ex moved across the state, and she needed somewhere stable fast. I had the space, and I told her she could stay while she figured things out. I meant it. I didn't put a timeline on it. I just assumed we'd operate like 2 adults sharing a space. I work from home and start early. I'm usually at my desk by 8 a.m., coffee in hand, emails open. Jenna, on the other hand, sleeps like the dead. Alarms go off. Snooze buttons get abused. Half the time she doesn't get out of bed until 10 or later. The first week she lived with me, she asked if I could drive Eli to school one morning because she'd had a migraine. I said sure. No big deal. That one morning turned into almost every morning. I'd be halfway through my first meeting when Eli would come hovering near my desk with his backpack on, shoes untied, asking if I was ready. Ready for what? Apparently driving him to school. Jenna would still be asleep, door closed, phone buzzing on the nightstand. At first I didn't mind. The school was only 10 minutes away. Eli was polite. I figured she was overwhelmed and just needed some grace. Then the expectations shifted. Jenna stopped asking. She'd just assume. She started scheduling appointments early, knowing I'd be home. One morning she casually said, "You can just take him, right?" while she poured herself coffee at 9:30. Like she hadn't missed anything important. I tried hinting. I said my mornings were busy. I mentioned deadlines. She nodded, but nothing changed. The breaking point came last Monday. I had a presentation with my boss's boss at 8:15 sharp. The kind you don't reschedule. At 7:50, Eli walked in fully dressed and said, "Mom said you'd take me." I went to Jenna's room and knocked. No answer. I knocked louder. She yelled, "Just a minute." A minute turned into 5. I told Eli to sit down and wait. At 8:05, I went back to her door and told her I couldn't do it today. She snapped, "Seriously?" "It's just a drive." I said, "I have a meeting. You need to take him." She sighed like I was being dramatic, dragged herself out of bed, and slammed the front door on her way out. I thought that was the end of it. That afternoon, when she got home, she exploded. She said I embarrassed her, that Eli was late and upset, that I'd made him feel like a burden. I told her that wasn't fair. I said I'd been helping for months, and that this was never supposed to be my responsibility. She said, "You don't get it." "I'm doing the best I can." I said, "So am I." Then she crossed the line. She said if I really cared about her and Eli, I'd step up without complaining. That's when I lost my patience. I told her that helping is different from replacing her, and that she doesn't get to outsource parenting just because I work from home. Eli was standing in the hallway, pretending not to listen. I immediately felt awful, but I didn't take it back. She hasn't spoken to me since, except in clipped one-word answers. Eli doesn't ask me for rides anymore. Now Jenna wakes up early every morning, slams cabinets, and mutters under her breath about support systems. The house feels tense and quiet in a way it didn't before. I keep wondering how doing someone a favor turned into me being the villain for finally saying no.